So, the topic of today's video is transgender for everybody. I've heard this phrase come out of Trump's mouth a few different times now. I'm interested in examining what he means when he says it and the reasons for doing so. This phrase seems to revolve around the latest CR budget bill or resolution that was shutting down the government, that the Democrats refused to allow the Republicans to strike down trans healthcare provisions for Medicaid. They refused to vote on that bill. They pretty much all, I believe the only person who crossed the line was Fetterman, and there was one other person who did so. But they didn't get what they needed to actually pass it, and the government did in fact shut down. But that's not what this video is about. I'm not really here to discuss the shutdown, because frankly, I'm just not particularly fucking interested in it that much. Fucking planes. Hello. I gotta stop paying attention to you. Hello, hi. I'm reading something. Don't distract me, motherfucker. Just relax. We're gonna get to you. So, I wish to only focus on what Trump has said to me, or not to me, but on what Trump specifically himself has said. I want to focus on his words. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean to you, Daisy Blue. Just relax. Take it down a notch. Both of us. And why what he says, I want to break down this phrase and why what it really means is just something that doesn't really make sense to my fucking brain. I'm going to point out to you a few different problems that I have with it. So we're going to get into it. Transgender for everybody would quite literally give every cisgender person who is completely comfortable with their own identity massive amounts of dysphoria, and that they would all simultaneously understand the struggles that trans people go through firsthand. Why on earth would any politician in the American system ever agree to this fucking idea? Does it make any sense to forcibly give people depression and dysphoric thoughts for years to come? The answer to me is obviously fucking not. That's not effective governance. I think we all understand that bringing more harm is not a good thing, right? So just make that clear right here and right now. Does Trump simply mean transgender for everybody who wants it? Is that his intentions? Why can he not simply be honest about that if that is what his meaning is? Is there a reason that I'm not seeing that he's just simply... I mean, there is a reason. I'm kind of dancing around it a little bit. He's being dishonest, right? I think we all understand that. At least anybody who's fucking paying close attention. He doesn't actually think that... I don't know what's in his brain, but if I had to guess, I would say I imagine that he doesn't actually think that Democrats want transgender for everybody, right? Let's be fucking real. I mean, if he does actually believe that, that is beyond delusional. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't logically follow, right? So that's the first problem I have with this. The first point, the first little part of that monologue I want to get through. And the thing I find interesting about this brain rot of his, for lack of a better term, is that maybe it is what normal Americans need to learn some goddamn empathy. If the entirety of this country understood the depths of dysphoria and what it means to have an existential crisis over their physical body and identity, we might actually learn something the fucking hard way for once, and maybe we could get these irritating ass politicians to fuck off and leave the people who don't have a choice alone. I didn't choose to be fucking transgender. A lot of people tell me I do, but that's just not fucking true. It's just not. That gets my goat just a little fucking bit. Just a little bit. Right? I am so very fucking tired of being told that this is the life that I chose for myself. I'm so tired of having to hide myself and pretend to be something I am not to keep myself alive, but I do it anyways. And when I say pretending to be something I'm not. I'm not talking about pretending to be transgender. I'm talking about pretending to be a boy out in fucking public, where it's not safe for me to be open and talk about myself openly, right? I have to still mask, just like everybody else in this fucking world. Even if I don't want to, even if it's a pain in my fucking ass, it's something that I have to fucking do. I hate doing it every fucking time. I choose to wake up and continue living out of pure spite, and the fact that Trump will never win and break my fucking spirit, no matter what he does. I dare this administration to do something fucking radical towards me. I've seen my nightmares turn into this fucking reality, and watched as my own dreams have fucking faded away before my very eyes. That's not a good place to fucking be. But my only intention in this world is to live as I see fit. I have no interest in harming anyone else or imposing my edicts onto anyone else who doesn't agree with me, short of like stopping that person committing acts of violence towards others or anything of that nature. I think that's a little bit on the basic side when it comes to morality kind of shit. But honestly, I'm a pretty live and let live kind of person. That's how I am for the most part, right? There's more nuance than that. It's not quite as black and white as I'm making it out right there, but that generally speaking, right? So what is my alternative in this life, in this world? Should I become a fucking grifter like Blair White and slob the knob of the current administration until I'm blue in the fucking face? Should I simply accept that I'm actually not really trans, and I've been doing this all for attention, all for the attention that I get, as absurd as that sounds to me? I have to reject these ideas and accept the actual truth of who I am and live by my standards, as regardless of what the man tried to lie to me and tell me, regardless of the ridiculous propaganda that I hear coming from him every fucking day. That's it. That's where my script ends. That's what I have to say on the matter. That's the thing that interests me the most. Those are all the thoughts that I have on that subject. Those are the things that I find intriguing about what he says, or interesting, or worthy of discussion. The things that kind of annoy me and kind of piss me off just a little fucking bit, just a little bit. Not a crazy amount. You know, it's only the entire government coming after us as a fucking scapegoat for whatever fucking reason. Who the fuck knows what their true intentions really are? And if I had to guess, I would say it's to gain as much political power as they possibly can. But I don't understand to what fucking end. But regardless, as I always say at the end of every one of these videos, the world is in our hands. You gotta grab that motherfucker. And you gotta hold on tight. And you gotta say peace out. Peace the fuck out, motherfuckers.